everybody, welcome in. First intermission, Avs Mammoth. I'm Jesse Montano. She is Meghan Angley. Megan, the Avs jump out to a 1-0 start in Utah. Cale Makar gets his third goal of the season. Zakar Bardakov gets his first NHL point. And just starting right there, I mentioned to you right after the goal, I said that play on the forecheck was better than anything Zakar Bardakov did in his NHL debut a couple nights ago. So big credit to him. Picks up his first NHL point.
You know what I like about this play too is it's almost the exact opposite of what happens on that goal against in the Boston game.
Mhm.
And my frustration with Bardakov on that goal against was he was racing for the puck through the neutral zone, and his speed, his length, reach made it seem to me he should have had more of a handle on that puck, more of a claim to it. And so he loses it. Play comes back into Colorado's end. That's where Brindley gets muscled off the puck. Parker Kelly loses his assignment to the net front. Goal against. Just to rehash. In this play, he is battling start to finish up ice through the neutral zone to get that puck from Stenlund, then the race below the goal line ahead of Ali Mata, and then he even gets back to the slot when Parker Kelly chips that puck ahead.
He engages physically and separates a guy from the puck. Like it's just great work below the goal line.
And ahead of it too, like in the neutral zone, he fights off two guys to win this puck. He uses his speed, his physicality, and then he asserts himself in the slot. And so he ties up, it's Ole Mata yet again, giving a clear lane to the net for Cale Makar. And so I love just how this play starts in the neutral zone in using his size, his reach, his physicality to win this puck, because in transition, he should pose a lot of a threat, especially because of the speed, the power. And so I think that he recognized, you know what, the sense I got in his debut was that he ran into discipline trouble in preseason and he was trying to play it safe. I think he was worried about making mistakes and being a liability in that way that he was a little bit withholding. And so this type of play is more akin to Bardakov's strengths. And I think he just needs to be confident in his identity as a player, because it's going to reward him more than not. You know, if he runs into discipline trouble along the way, that's something that can be sorted. But I'd rather see him come away at least having engaged in the battle instead of avoiding it altogether.
Well, and to start your NHL career by, a mistake that starts with you and then ends up in the back of the net. I'm sure, as a young player, we saw him in the locker room and that morning, and I'm not going to say he looked nervous, but he looked like a kid that was about to make his NHL debut. So come out, you make a mistake early, and I'm with you. It seemed like he was just kind of reeling, overly conservative the rest of the way. But again, starts this game off, with a really strong play. I wasn't going to go all the way into it yet, but I loved that breakdown that you just gave of that goal because it was such a great play. But Zakar Bardakov gets that play started. And again, Megan, just for the Avs, another period here at the start of this season where you just really like the vast majority of what it is that they did. Scott Wedgwood looks, turns in another really good period. When you're looking at the Avs right now, Megan, and what we saw in that first period, and what we've seen through these first half dozen games, Nathan MacKinnon told us the other night, the personnel is better. We're deeper. What is it that you are seeing that this group is doing right now that is just making life so miserable for, it seems like, everybody they play against?
Well, Nathan MacKinnon has a big hand in that.
Yeah.
But I think notably in that first period, the Avs were turning over the puck a little bit in the D zone. Their puck management was questionable, and they quickly settled into their game. And actually, it ended up Utah making mistakes in their own end at the conclusion of this period, because the Avs just got control of this game pretty quickly into it. And so they got to their game sooner than Utah did. And a lot of that then led to extended possession, some really great passing plays from some of the lines. But I'm keying in on MacKinnon's line specifically in the chemistry that I continue to see persist between MacKinnon and Netchus, and even just the individual effort of what Nathan MacKinnon is doing in that first period. I would attribute a lot of that possession to Nathan MacKinnon pretty single-handedly, but I'm liking what I see from the Drury, Olofsson, Colton line yet again. I think that they're getting some good puck touches, and I just got my eye on them. Like, I think that's a line that's going to get going. Nichushkin, we're looking at that second line to get going offensively, but really not a lot from special teams other than a great penalty kill in that period. But I want to shout out that penalty kill. It's top 10 in the league right now. And sorry.
No. Why are you? Oh, Jesse, you cut me off. Let me apologize to you.
Well, because it seemed like, Megan, that's in my rundown.
No. You said something that, someone asked Jared Bednar after that last home game about the struggling power play. And he said, and truthfully, again, I think you and I talked about this in the press box of like, yes, it's struggling. But you want to win the special teams, win or tie the special teams battle. And I just wanted to underscore the point you were making of they're doing that. So yes, the power play is struggling, but as long as the penalty kill continues to look as strong as it has, I'm not going to say it's not a problem, but it's not going to be costing you in the same way as it is. And I just wanted to help underscore the point you were making of the penalty kill has been massive, especially with the power play struggling to get going. You're keeping this team in the special teams battle.
Power play comes in 28th ranked in the league going into tonight compared to the top 10 PK. It just points to what some of that personnel is doing so well on that unit. And even with one of their best D-zone faceoff guys in the box in Jack Drury, Brock Nelson continues to be an intriguing and exciting addition to that PK. And so he wins that opening D-zone draw. And it kind of sets the tone for the rest of this kill. And so we see Nichushkin, who I associate as being a PK guy, on that second unit because they have enough guys that do this so well that they can distribute then how they deploy this PK. And so on that second unit, we're seeing an aggressive Val Nichushkin who, in being so aggressive in his gap, honestly, that puck is Colorado's for the rest of that back half of the kill. And I see Gavin Brindley get a little bit of time on there, which speaks to some of the trust that he's earning and also the overall trust in the strength of that penalty kill unit, top to bottom, start to finish. And it was just an otherwise good kill because, interestingly, Scott Wedgwood, as always, deserves a shout out from this first period. The high danger chances between the teams, even though Colorado comes ahead in the shots battle, possessions battle, because of that power play for Utah, they have a slight edge with a high danger chance, one more than the Avs. And so a few big saves come to mind from Scott Wedgwood, one of those on the power play or PK in particular. But, a couple of key moments in that first period, despite really strong play from Colorado.
I want to give a shout out also to Karel Vejmelka, 2 massive saves on a Nathan McKinnon breakaway. The first one was a great save. Second one was, 10 bell. We'll probably see that on NHL tonight later on this evening. I want to go back to the Bardakov goal that started things off, and not to draw more contrast to the first game versus or an early shift here in this one, but really it's what Jared Bednar talked about before Bardakov's first game. When Rachel Toss asked him about what he's looking for out of Zakhar Bardakov, and it's, I want to see him be a great fourth line center. What I liked so much about that play and that goal, and again, as you pointed out, we talked about that first game, he struggled in a lot of areas. There was a lot that he needed to clean up. It felt like he was chasing that game almost immediately. That was a great fourth line center play to get below the goal line, create an opportunity for another player on your team to make a play. And then it's what you and I have talked about multiple times across the last couple of years. The secret weapon of the Avs back end is that you can be going fourth line on fourth line. Cale Makar gets stuck out there. You have the best offensive player on the ice by a mile. Bardakov engages physically, makes a great play in the neutral zone, makes a play down low to allow Parker Kelly to get out, make that pass, and then Cale Makar gets a fortuitous tip, puck through traffic, and you're up by 1. That's a great fourth line center play.
But a little less traffic because Bardakov asserts himself in the slot and he's tying up Ali Mata there. And so what I like about this is it's not just the play with the puck, it's the play away from the puck. And you have to be smart in how you handle that because you don't want to take a penalty either, but you want to assert yourself in the middle of the ice. And so Bardakov doing this just gives Makar a clear lane to the net. And so it's start to finish too, because Bardakov wins the faceoff that opens this shift. And then he follows that up with the strong play up ice to win that puck from Stenlund. And so everything else plays out exactly how you just described it. But I want to shout out the play away from the puck to finish this shift because it's critical to Makar getting that puck then to the back of the net. And what I like too is the overall confidence of the defensemen in that first period. You have Malinsky and Solovyov coming away with a couple shots on net, and you can see Malinsky's feeling a lot of confidence in his game. If I'm not mistaken, too, there was an early play from McKinnon where he made, that there was that collision at the neutral zone with Cooley, and then he gets it into the zone. He's no worse for wear. And I think it's Manson actually who activates and goes deep into the zone, because Netchus is an option net front for McKinnon to pass to from behind the net. Mm-hmm. But McKinnon chooses Manson over Netchus, I think, because it's a little bit of deception. Like everyone expects me to give this to Marty Netchus right now, so I'm going to give it to Josh Manson instead. And I just thought that was a great play, just like in totality then, and looking at what the defensemen are doing. You've got Makar getting pucks to the net. Malinsky's shooting the pucks. Sloviov's just getting attempts blocked, but he's putting pucks on net too. You've got Manson bursting down the slot to clean up pucks from McKinnon from below the goal line. You could tell I'm getting excited about this. It is clear to me what Jared Bednar said the other day, kind of like, hey, our back end's in great shape right now. We trust Brent Burns. Josh Manson's playing great, not on his strong side for the first time as needed. I think Malinsky's feeling a confidence in his game, and I really like Solovyov's it.
Well, the one thing I was going to add to, what you're saying about him, finding Manson there is, again, just going back to a conversation we had with Jared Bednar this week about, someone was asking about Solovyov and kind of, he was alluding that, I'm kind of already getting the green light to jump up, activate more. Don't be afraid to put pucks on net. You don't have to just throw them into the corner. And Jared Bednar referenced Josh Manson in that, like, hey, that was a guy that we were able to activate and get a lot more out of offensively. And so, it's just so funny that, I don't want to get, blow it out of proportion. Nathan McKinnon hit him with a pass in the slot. Like, let's not, freak out. But, you do just wonder if that is, when Josh Manson first got to town, if that would have been Nathan McKinnon's first instinct of, hey, is this guy going to get the puck to the net? We got just about 90 seconds here before the second period gets started. I have to ask, there was so much talk about it over the last couple of weeks. Thoughts on the jerseys? The Nordiques throwbacks are finally unveiled.
You know how I feel in that I enjoy jerseys, but I'm not like a jersey person. And so I like them. I feel sympathy, though, to fans in how this rollout has played out and seeing how quickly they sold out. And there are a lot of people who already have their hearts broken with the teases leading up to the reveal and then still didn't come away with the jersey. So I feel ultimately maybe a little bit bad, but I'm super excited for the Nordiques Whalers throwback game that we're going to get this Thursday. It's hard to have negative thoughts about this.
I've got to, Megan, I've got to give credit. On the last pod, I said, wouldn't that be cool for them to do it? I don't know if the NHL is that fun, though.
They're going to let us have a lot of fun.
They're
going to do it again.
Twice.
January?
Early January. We get 2 Nordiques Whalers matchups this season. And the jerseys sold out completely online. The line was out to like the second parking lot down at Ball Arena. I'm glad people liked them. My only thing is I hope they have more. We saw this with the reverse retros. It was a one-time. We released them. That was it. Can't get them again. So as long as they restock,
I'll be super happy if they restock.
Yes. All right. Second period's back on here. We are going to get back to that. Avs and Mammoth. We'll be back for the second intermission and post game. So make sure you guys are tuning in. She's Megan. I'm Jesse. Got Dan and Ashley back here tonight. Woo! Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to second intermission.